Alright, let me preface this new Dating in LA video with a few points. One, it was originally recorded in April, 6 weeks before the It's Complicated fiasco, and features Danielle, one of the culprits. She is one half of the dynamic duo Dani and Drea from the awesome podcast Spin the Bottle. You should definitely check them out, links are in the description box below. Two, this video is longer than my other videos because I had literally an hour worth of footage to go through. Three, there's at least one more Dating in LA video coming because a few weeks ago, a group of us went speed dating.
Man, you about to cram like 10 years of pimpage into one day. I don't want to cram pimpage.
So I went for the laughs, and I had a few, but not for the reasons I thought. But without further ado, here's Dating in LA Part 6.
I don't know why on earth you decided it was a good idea to bring me on.
You have an interesting perspective.
We're gonna have a real honest conversation.
Oh, it's gonna get real. Dating as a millennial, or of the Oregon Trail generation as we are. Thoughts?
I never made it all the way through Oregon Trail. That wasn't the question. I always died in the river. We'll talk about what happens in the promised land later. Dating as a millennial. I think one of the biggest issues is the advent of technology and how that's kind of affected real, honest, meaningful interaction.
I agree.
That would be my biggest thing. That as an adult dating now, I find myself very confused a lot with how heavily things are text conversations, emoticons, lots of stuff in the virtual world, and then you get face-to-face with someone and they can't have a conversation. I don't know what happened.
Why is that so accurate?
In my opinion.
Yes, I definitely agree. Not that I've dated a whole bunch because I am fearful of picking the wrong person. And people this age are crazy. Anywho.
You gotta fight through that though.
I know.
Not everybody's crazy. The crazy Arande's talking about is truly mentally off. But I will say,
not the
while
typical,
we're talking
like,
about dating in LA, every man that you talk to will be like, I broke up with my ex because she's crazy. And it's like, was she really crazy?
Or did you make
Or
her
did
crazy?
you do some things that weren't so awesome and she called you on your bullshit? Which one? Because not everybody has a crazy ex.
True. Where do you meet people nowadays?
I have no idea.
I thought in church, but that was not, no. Well, maybe it was just our church that didn't.
That's a whole nother.
That's a whole other
vlog.
conversation.
Anyways.
We're not going there. Speaking of social media crippling us in terms of like one-on-one interactions, I went on a date. Hopefully she's not watching this, but
I'm sure you're lovely, whoever you are.
We met on a dating app. On paper, looks awesome. I go and meet her. It was like talking to this.
I hate it when that happens.
It was
chemistry.
just,
there's a certain intangible thing. And that's the other issue with the social media stuff. You can do dating apps, you can do all kinds of things, but until you get with someone face to face and have real interaction with them, like you don't know if you really click. And I don't even mean sexually. I just mean, can we talk? Are you funny? Are you witty?
Do I like you as a person?
Do you catch my amazing banter? All of that. I just want to meet somebody the old-fashioned way, you know? I've done the dating apps.
Tell us about those.
Well, you know, I met a few whack jobs on eHarmony, and everybody says eHarmony's the one. I've done Match and I've done Tinder, and believe it or not, even though everybody says Tinder is the smashing app, I never had any creepy sexual things happen on Tinder.
Actually, Leah and Joel met on Tinder.
See?
And they got married.
It can happen. I always pay attention to a man's hands. It's one of the first things I look at with men, and you can't see those in pictures. So are your nails clean? Are they trimmed? If they're long, you know what I mean? They shouldn't be too long. It's just for me, you know?
I just look for personality.
I hear you.
Can we have a conversation without me wanting to like throw chairs and stuff? I'm a grammar Nazi, so half the time.
Which is why texting is very tricky.
If you notice, I always text incomplete sentences. And
it's not even a judgment because I do know some people know how to write, but just choose not to. It's just a weird, I don't know why. It's a pet peeve for me. If you don't know the difference between your weathers, your theirs, your yours, you know, these things, I'm like, ugh. There are certain things that you need to understand should never be texted, ever. Some things just warrant a conversation, right? So we're not gonna argue via text. That's ridiculous.
How does one argue via text?
It can happen. I'm either gonna call you or we need to have the discussion face to face, but we're not gonna get into a full-on argument on text. A lot of things can be
what?
right. A lot
How
of things
dare
can be
you?
misread when you're texting.
I think it's funny that
You don't break up with someone on a text.
That's
it's
just
just
disrespectful.
tacky. Don't say I love you the first time in a text. Like, don't do the important stuff in texting. Don't ask me to be your girl in a text.
I feel like that's something I did in high school though. I asked a girl to be my girlfriend via email, and she said
Was it
yes
a long
via email.
email?
It was a poem.
Okay, totally different. Again, so you wrote her a poem. There was some
I did.
thought that went into it. Not just like, will you be my girlfriend on a text. Also, what did you say? In what?
High school. I was 15. Sorry,
Sounds
Mom.
about right.
Yeah, she did forbade me from dating until I was 16.
Oh.
That's a girl I was
Look at
15.
you. Rebel. Breaking the rules.
Oh, rebel. I never even ditched. Like, they had a senior ditch day and I still went to school.
I went to senior dish day with my mom. So
What?
yeah, we had a day.
I was an idiot up until I was like 27. So I never knew if a woman was interested in me. But women don't really give like overt clues.
True.
I started noticing the hairbrush or, the touchy-feely when I was 28. Before then, I was...
But you can ask. You can, and that's the thing. Now that we're grown, like, not ask like, do you like me? But you can ask probing questions or try to dig a little deeper. And if she's into it, she will give you something. Like, she'll give you something, And then there are some women who will step to you. So you just never know.
I don't know how we react if that happened, in all honesty. In my mind, I'm like, yo, that'd be super dope. But then when people kind of come up to me and know more information than I've ever told them, I'm like, whoa. I don't know you like that. What's your sources? I don't understand.
Who sent you?
Pressures from family to get married and procreate.
Oh, God. Okay. So I'm the oldest girl in my family. So all the pressure is on me. All of it. What are you waiting for? You're not getting any younger. You're really old here. I'm 35, guys. And here's the thing. I would love to do it if it's right. That's the thing. Like, I'm not getting married just to get married. There are times when you want to have a partner, for sure, but I think there's nothing worse than being in a miserable marriage. I've never been married, but that is, in my mind, that's worst case scenario. It's got to be the right guy. I gotta want to raise kids with you. We're fashioning baby people. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You just don't rush into that.
I don't understand what my mom was thinking where she kind of like scared me off of dating, and then as soon as I graduated college, she's like, all right, so you got a girlfriend?
When are you gonna give me grandbabies?
Are you kidding me? Aren't you the same one that told me if I got a girl pregnant, you were gonna burn off my fingers
Wow.
and other parts? Or
That there's a threat.
super threat. But then at the same time, went to a health fair and brought me back a bag full of condoms and pamphlets that show you what STDs look like.
Maybe you need to know what herpes looks like. You think that's cute? You think you want to
This
do
is
that?
what gonorrhea of the mouth looks like. And she kept asking me, and I was like, look, listen, the more you ask me, the longer it'll be, so stop asking,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
Please.
It doesn't matter how much you've accomplished. A lot of people only want to know if you have a man. It's the craziest thing ever. I can be like, I just got an amazing promotion at work. I just built a podcast. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm doing some traveling. And people are like, awesome. So what's happening? Do you have a dude? Or like, they totally glaze over all my other accomplishments. And I think that's one thing that we as women have to struggle with a little more so than men is just,
That's accurate.
there's an assumption that if you don't have a man, it's somehow indicative of your worth. Somehow, every woman wants a man, and every woman wants to get married, and every woman wants to have babies, and so what are you waiting for? And that can be annoying, you
There
know?
are other factors. It takes two to make
It does take two. Also, don't ask me when I'm getting married. Like, I'm the woman. The guy has to ask me. I don't know. When am I getting married? When someone buys a ring and asks me after I'm in a relationship. So there are things that have to happen.
There are
I can't
steps
just
to
give
this.
you some erroneous date when I'm gonna end up married. I don't know how to answer that question.
Yeah, so families, stop pressuring us. It'll happen when it happens.
Yeah.
Stop asking.
It doesn't
because
help.
it just makes it worse.
Especially if you have a stubborn streak like me. Just trying to prove a point.
Same. It's a different time. When my grandma and my mom were coming up, it was, you find a mate, you get married, you get the same job for 30 years, you retire, you have lots of kids, and then you have the kids take care of you. Respect that. But it's much more expensive to buy a house nowadays. The wages did not increase alongside rent and food and gas and transportation and things like that. So it's a different time. Allow us to be us.
I like it.
And don't blame us for the market because that was
I like
y'all
it.
fault. Anyway,
I'm just gonna say, gentlemen, stop sending unsolicited dick pics. I don't know any woman that wants it or likes it. And if she wants that from you, I promise you, she will let you know. It's one thing if I'm like, listen, I'm all hot and bothered, send me a picture. If I give you some indication that that's what I want. Don't send me a picture of your man junk talking about thinking of you. That's not, I asked how was your day? I don't even know you.
Like, I don't even know your last name.
Do you have any food allergies? You know? What do you like? I don't know. Then why have I
Like,
seen
do you
your
like
penis?
olives or not?
There's gradual progressions to things. Like, read the room. This is another way we've been ruined by technology. You should know when it's time for things. Like, what is the response supposed to be is always my thought. So now that I see this picture, what am I supposed to do with this?
On behalf of my gender, I apologize.
It's fine.
Shoot your shot, but keep it clean. Err on the side of not, I would say. With the internet and how easy it is to just blast that everywhere.
Also,
like, I don't even like a whole lot of people looking at me at the same time. Why would I want
it's true.
that on the interwebs?
And you could come across the wrong woman who, you know, shares your goodies with the world. It could be that you're just vain enough to be into that, but in the event that you're not, just think about it. You just want to be really sure before you shoot that shot. You know what I'm saying?
Well, thank you.
Thanks, Rondé.
You're awesome.
Good luck, man, in these streets. Godspeed.
Hey, same.
Thanks.
But wait, there's more. Hang on to your seat, baby, cause this one's a screamer. I'll be back.